Hello, my name is Minh, and now I will continue my topics about gender advertisement. So we start. Gender advertisement refers to the images in advertising that depict stereotypical gender roles and displays. Gender displays are used heavily in advertising in order to establish the role of one gender in relation with the other. And some scholars argue that advertisers are obsessed with gender. Advertisers focus on gender relationships because people define themselves by gender, and gender can be communicated at a glance, making it easy for advertisers to use this theme in their work. Researchers such as Mary Martin and James Gentry have found that teen advertising negatively impacts teenagers' self-esteem by setting unrealistic expectations for them about their physical appearances through the use of idealized model. It has been argued by The Working and Watch in 2009 that the widespread in of the healthy and fit body used by the media is signified by the muscular man and the slim woman promote the idea of an ideal and singular body type that should be strived after both genders, but which may not fit with the reality of the disparity of body types. Studies show that these ideals have influences on the expectancies of what a healthy body constitutes in young people and can contribute negatively mental health issues in regard to body image. Other researchers suggest Heidi Professor acknowledge this, but believe that this only applies to teenagers who already possess low self-esteem or poor self-images. Further, a growing number of advertisements are now showing that men as sex objects. A study on male body obsession found that advertisements for everything from car to underwear depicted bodybuilder images with washboard, abdominal muscles, massive chests, and inflected shoulders, a mixture of muscularity and leanness, probably attainable only by drugs. In contrast, researchers including Terry Bristol have found teenagers to be generally unaffected by these advertisements due to the idea that repeat exposure can create an immunity to images and messages in advertisements. Moreover, more researchers such as Paul Humbright have concluded that exposure to such advertisements can actually create higher self-esteem in teenagers. Though women's equality is advancing in society, men have become more fixated with muscularity because it is still seen as a cultural symbol of masculinity. In addition, it has been suggested that a muscular body has become an aesthetic norm for heterosexual as well as homosexual. In a content analysis study of exclusively male images in men's magazines, it was found that most of the body in advertising were not ordinary, but those of strong and hard male figures. The study showed that males in advertisements were usually objectified and dispersonalized. The representation of ectomorphs, thin and lightly muscular, which is thin and lightly muscular, was limited predominantly to the advertising of clothes that may look more appealing on the similar, taller men. Domos, which means soft and round, were rarely depicted that if they were tended to be the object of humor. It is important to note that representations of male bodies are often used in irrespective of the relevant to the product being promoted. A study published in JAMA, the pediatric in generally, shows concerns about physique and muscularity in particular among young males and relative common. The researchers said approximately 18% of participants in this study, which included 5,527 males, were extremely concerned for their weight and physique. Furthermore, the researcher found 7.6% of young males were very concerned about muscularity and were using techniques that could be harmful to obtain an ideal body. Gender, I will talk about gender display in advertising. In the book Gender Advertising by Irving Goffman, it states if gender is defined as the culturally established correlates of sex, whether in consequence of biology or learning, then gender display refers to conventionalized portrayal of those correlated. Gender display can otherwise be defined as rituals of gender behavior, and they are used to help interpret social reality. The effect of advertising on body image have been studied by researchers, professionals, and ranging from psychological to marketing professional. These days, we know that the media and body image are closely related. Particularly, the body image advertising purchase affects our whole body image. Of course, there are many other things that influence our body image, like parenting, education, intimate relationships, and so on. The popular media does have a big impact, though this is because thousands of advertisements contain messages about physical attractiveness and beauty. Examples which include commercials for clothes, cosmetics, weight reduction, and physical fitness. Researchers have conducted study in an attempt to see if such advertisements have effects on teenage body image and what those effects might be. Women account for 85% of consumers' purchases. Roles of gender in advertising. It is argued that these images could be teaching the viewers a vast array of social cues, and even the most subtle ones make an impact on the viewer. Further, it is said that gender relations are learned through advertisements. Among these learned gender roles are those of femininity and masculinity. Men and women are portrayed in advertisement according to the constructed definition of femininity and masculinity. To be a woman is to be femininity, and to be a man is to be masculine. There is little room for variation or several of roles, except within the smaller frame of Nikon marketing. Since the 1980s, men's bodies have been used more frequently in advertising, depicting in a similarly idealized body image to that portrayed of women. Research suggests that men feel social pressure to endorse traditional masculine male models in advertising. Researcher by Martin and Gnott in 2009 found that feminine men prefer feminine models in private, but stated in a reference for a traditional masculine models when their collective self were silent. In other words, when concerned about being classified by other men as feminine or feminine men endorsed traditional masculine model, the author suggested that this result reflected the social pressure on men to endorse traditional masculine norms. This is what advertising mainly borrow from, and for government, this is the reason as to why advertisements do not look strange to the public. Further, government argues that there are codes which can be used to identify gender. These codes of gender can be seen in the portrayals of men and women in advertising. There are four categories under which we can see these codes of gender: the family, the feminine touch, the ritualization of subordination, and license withdrawal. And next I will talk about role reversal of a male and a female. Sometimes the traditional gender roles are reversed. When this happens, one can see men behaving in ways that are generally associated with the femininity and women behaving in typically masculine ways. This is often the case in gay and lesbian advertising. Witnessing these advertisements can be a shock to most, as they are not as accustomed to this reversal approach. This is an indicator that there is a fact in distinction between the genders in advertising. And now I will talk about effect of advertisement. Beauty can be defined largely as a perception. It is a group of social norms that interpret a particular form of appearance that is valued. Since almost 4 decades ago, women have been expected to conform to a particular body image and to behave in a certain manner of which would immediately decipher and enforce their femininity. According to Bordeaux in 1996, page 94, both men and women strive to achieve the beauty which influences them to shape themselves and after their appearance in order to conform those norms. These norms are largely derived from the media's presentation of models and well-known stars through the advertisement for products and magazine covers. As for society is now filled with these advertisements in all aspects of life, such as TV, billboard, in supermarkets, display with the product, particular beauty and beauty product, and on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Children are now viewing this material at a younger age and in turn creating the perception that this is an ideal appearance. While they're still very impressionable, young children learn by observing and imitating what is presented to them. In the early 20th century, society began to pursue material goods with the goal of fulfill a general desire to all items rather than for later use. This is largely due to the use of advertising media and the perception, particularly with beauty productions, that the model's picture obtain the looks by using this product. This is very common for young men and women to compare themselves to models in an advertisement in terms of their physical attractiveness and the appearance and body size of the models within the advertisement in final image seen by consumer are more often than not after through editing programs such as Photoshop or some taking picture app in order to achieve the perfect or impossible design look. The use of these images creates a false beauty ideal for both men and women. to inspire to as well as creating the use of extreme dieting and surgical procedures in order to resemble a similar image that is displayed in advertising. This emphasis on an ideal body appearance has been regarded as being physiologically detrimental to the well-being of many young men and women. And on their self-image, the extent researcher shows that stereotype can be helpful or detrimental depending on several factors, such as the gender attitudes of the audience. Magazine advertisement highlighting a thin, attractive female model yield greater self-objectification, and the process of inspecting this type of advertisement can be encourage women to think about their physical appearance as is looking as a critical observer. Images from media are frequently exposed to Western women, and the usage of skinny, idolized women in advertising is prevalent. Data also shows that males who were exposed to advertisement of women being sexually objectified were more likely to believe stereotypes about sex roles as well as rap myth beliefs. When sexuality is used in advertising and certain values and attitudes towards sex are sold along with the product, the message may be that innocence is sexy, that women enjoy being dominated, that the use of a certain product is naughty but legal, or that use of a certain product will make the user more attractive to the opposite sex, and many other messages. The way beauty is portrayed is in the media causes dissatisfaction and negative thought about oneself when those results are not achieved. Social cultural standards of makeup images are presented in almost all forms of the popular media, barging men with the images that they portray that is considered to be an ideal body. Such standards of beauty are almost completely unattainable for most men. A majority of a model display on television and advertisement are well below that is considered healthy body weight. Mass media use of the such unrealistic models send an implicit message that is, in order for a man to be considered beautiful, he must be unhealthy. The mindset that a person can never be too rich or too thin is on too prevalent in society. It makes it difficult for males to achieve any level of contentment with their physical appearance. There has been a plethora of research to indicate that men are negatively affected by the constant exposure to the models that fulfill the unrealistic media ideal of body. And now I will talk about advertising strategy. Um, Media and advertising has also taken a strategy role in today's society. Women behavioral intention is enhanced more through the transformation message strategy than an information message strategy. However, a man's behavioral intention is an information message strategies as opposed to a behavioral intention. Advertisements rarely portray people that look like us or the norm. Women are afraid things and often are addicted or touch up to look thinner and formless. The people that whom advertisements are on rarely look the same as though portrayed in the advertisement themselves. The females possess self-efficacy and behavioral intention emotionally rather than the rationally like males do. Another gender difference that has emerged is consumer effectiveness and message strategy significantly predicting self-efficacy. These findings show a gender role within media and advertising. Research suggests that there are four different and independent components. They are chain descriptors like self-assertion, concern for others, physical characteristic or hair, length or body weight, and role behaviors like leader, talking care about children, and occupational status like truck driver, housewife, or teacher. Each component had a masculine and feminine version. Stereotyping becomes problematic when stereotypes lead to expectation and judgment that restrict life opportunity for subject of a social category. This is a reason why public policy is concerned about marketing activities that promote stereotypes. Each gender stereotype component can lead to negative consequences that restrict life opportunities, particularly for women. Physical characteristics can lead to seduce self-dignity. Role behaviors may lead to restricted opportunity of self-development, and stereotyping of occupational roles may lead to disadvantages in women's careers.
Your coffee, sir.
Thanks, beautiful.
You're welcome.
How can such a pretty wife make such bad coffee?
I heard that.
Old Spice body wash can't block odor for 16 hours.
What? This one does, dummy. It's super powerful odor blocker body wash. Oh! Power! Odor blocker body wash is too powerful to let this commercial in. Building kick. Explosion! Power!
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
This flat tire needs a man, but when there's no man around, Goodyear should be.
I wonder what would happen if I were to send this out. Timmy, what are you doing?
No, that I was just...
Got me? Yeah. Grab it, grab it, grab it!
Probably nothing.
Hey, Faith, can you help me out?
Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day. I gotta write something, but I can't.
Just write what's in your heart.
She'll think I'm dumb.
No, she won't. Tell her how you feel. Come on, give it a shot.
Okay. Dear Kim, your rack is unreal.
So you sent that.
My heart told me to.
Shut up and
sleep with me, camel. Why don't you sleep with me? Shut up and sleep with me, camel. And sleep with me. Shut up and sleep with me, camel. Why don't you sleep with me? Shut up and sleep with me, camel. And sleep with me. Shut up and sleep with me, camel. Why don't you sleep with me? Shut up and sleep with me, camel. And sleep with me. Shut up and sleep with me, camel. Why don't you sleep with me? Shut up and sleep with me, camel.